serious?
So a couple days ago, some guy in the UK decided to interview Tim Sweeney. I didn't even know about this before I made my previous video talking about the Epic Games Store. And this interview is actually very interesting, and I would like to respond to it to a certain degree. At least 3 bullet points that I think are the most important parts of it. I highly suggest that you go read the entire article yourself. It's not that long. It'll take you like 5 minutes or so to read. And it's very interesting to see how Tim Sweeney, the CEO of Epic Games, feels about his store. So the very title of this is called Epic Games Store is making the industry better. Yeah, right. But gamers don't see that. Oh, no, Tim. We see that very clearly. So the first thing that I want to talk about is one of the quotes from him. It says, "A critical challenge from the beginning has been looking at projects on Steam and asking, how can we achieve these levels of success on our own store? Metro Exodus far exceeded even Steam projections in sales, and this really proves that it's about the games, not about the stores." And you know what, Tim? I have to agree to a certain degree on that. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you're on Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, PC. It's about, are the games good, right? And I agree with that. But the problem is, Tim, that your store is lacking an assload of features that have been pretty much in everything for the last 10 years. And there's another thing with your store. I don't trust it to keep my personal information, banking, real name, whatever, safe. I trust Steam to do it, and it has kept my trust for the last 5 to 10 years. Your store hasn't. So you know what, Tim, you're right. It is about the games, not about the stores. But when I don't trust your store, that's when we have a problem, okay? And I and a lot of other gamers out there, we don't trust your store, Tim. Not at all. And I don't think I'll ever trust your store, especially when you're mostly owned by a Chinese company, and we all know how China loves to steal people's information and do God knows what with it. So the next part here that I find important is he says, ultimately, this is about making the industry a better place. Starting with the terms available for developers. I understand gamers don't see that. Yes, we do. They don't see the hardship of making a payroll and seeing the store suck out 30% of the revenue from it. Yeah, we already know this, Tim. We've known how Steam works with this since practically the beginning of Steam. Anyways, he says, it can be jarring to see the industry is changing in ways that are typically invisible to us gamers. Tim, here's the thing, okay? I agree that taking about 30% of your revenue through Steam is kind of fucked up, but why do you, a at this point, billion-dollar company, give a flying fuck how much money did they take from you? You already have all the money you've ever needed. What the fuck do you care? And that's the same question that I had in the previous video to any AAA company who's a multi-million or billion-dollar company. This doesn't affect you. It really shouldn't affect you, because here's the thing. And this is something that I should have said in the previous video. If you make a good enough game, you're going to make a lot of money. You remember a time where game developers actually cared about making a good product and then worried about how much money they're going to make? Because the problem nowadays is you greedy ass developers only care about how much profit you're going to make from these games and not, hey, is this game good? Is this game fun? Is it going to be easily accessible to the customer base? Are the customers going to like it? Are they going to want to buy DLC in the future? You should be focusing on making good games. Look, man, I get it. I'm not stupid, and I'm also not a CEO of a multi-billion-dollar company. But I understand you got to pay employees. You got to make the shareholders happy. You got to make sure that you don't invest all this time and money into something and not make more than you invested. I get that, dude. But guess what? As a company, you're supposed to take risks like that, because when you take risks, sometimes you're gonna make way more. I mean, look at Fortnite, Tim. You're the owner of Epic Games. You should know this, or you're the CEO, whatever. Fortnite, I'm guarantee you guys took a fucking shot in the dark with Fortnite, making a battle royale game. And look at it, it's the biggest battle royale in the fucking world, making you billions of dollars. Like, you gotta understand, sometimes when you take a risk, you're not gonna get more than you invested into it, and that's life, man. But you shouldn't be worried about the money, you should just be worried about making good products. And honestly, the Epic Store, as of right now, it's not a good product. It's not a good storefront, and it looks like you guys are doing everything in your power to make us not trust the Epic Games Store at all. I don't trust it, and most people out there don't trust it. The only people that are backing you up are the people that will blindly defend anything you do anyway, so they're kind of irrelevant. You know, I ask questions to these people and they never give me answers. So, fuck, dude, you really have no supporters at all. Besides the Fortnite kids, but I wouldn't be proud of that myself. So the final thing that he says, and I'm going to condense this down, is basically he's trying to make sure that controversial games like Rape Day don't end up on things like the Epic Store. And although I just gave you a lot of shit, Tim, I gotta say, man, that's a good thing. We don't need crazy, disgusting games like that on any store. But here's the thing, man, okay? I want to know, and a lot of other people want to know, where's the limit here? You know, like, what kind of a game should we never allow on a storefront? Something like Rape Day, okay, I guess that's unanimous. Everybody agrees. I agree. Something like that shouldn't be on a store. But what about Postal 2? You know, the kind of game where you can kick dogs, you can take your dick out and piss on people, and you can light people on fire and tell them to go fuck themselves, and you know, you can blow up a post office or whatever. Like, should we allow a game like that on Steam in the Epic Store or PlayStation or whatever? You know, where is the line here? Because the problem here is that nowadays, pretty much anybody can make a game. Even if you have a PC that's from like 20 years ago, a lot of these a lot of these things that you can use to develop games don't require a seriously badass PC to use anymore. So any Tom, Dick, and Harry can make a game. So the question still remains, where's the line that we draw, Tim? And this is a question for not just Tim Sweeney, but anybody in the industry. Where's the line here? Because your line might be different from my line, which also may be different from this guy's line and that guy's line, and so on and so forth, and you can see where this is going. I'm not saying that we should let anything on our stores, but we need to, if we're going to be serious about this, we need to be extremely serious. We need to make sure that the line is solid and that most people agree that this is the line we do not cross. If that's the way you want to go, Tim, fine, but you better be you better be ready. You better be goddamn ready to take this, because this is going to be a hell of a line to put in the sand. You know, like, this isn't going to be easy. I wouldn't want to take that job, because I don't think that my line is the proper line we need, because there might be a certain game that might piss me off, but in reality isn't even that bad. You know, it's a never-ending cycle with something like that. So I hope you're ready, Tim, and everybody else out there. Because, Tim, it really seems like you fail to realize the actual reasons that people don't like your storefront. It's not because we're not getting the games on Steam, it's because we just don't trust you. We don't trust the Epic Store. We don't trust the things you do behind the scenes when it comes to putting a game on Steam, and then you guys come to them and be like, hey man, we'll pay you this amount of money, and then they rip it off Steam and tell us to go fuck ourselves. Like, that kind of stuff, that's just gonna piss people off, man. Anyways, though, guys, this video is getting too long. I'm gonna cut it here. Like I said, I highly suggest you go read the article, because it's a very interesting read. Anyways, though, guys, this is Super Snow. I'll see you guys later. Have a nice day.